Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to this channel, Steve Gacino's Idiomas. In this video I wanted to re-record because I feel like the last one was a little bit too, it could be better. Anyways, so, this is a question that I get a lot, is can I learn English in 3 months? Can I learn English in 2 months? Can I learn English in 5 months? Well, the answer is sort of yes. But we have to consider a few things. Number one, actually, welcome back to this new episode of Frequently Asked Questions. Can I learn X language in X amount of time? Alright, let's get started. So, as I was doing the example with English, can I learn English? I have a drift. I'm going to Canada in 2 months. I'm going to Canada in 5 months. A lot of people go to Canada for whatever reason. I just want to pass a job interview in a couple months. Can I learn English in that time? Okay, well, there are a few things that we obviously have to consider here. Number one, what is your current level of English? If you want to become, V2, and your current level is V1, and you have 2 months, that's reasonable. If you're A1 and you want to become B2 in 2 months, unless there's like you're like an exceptional person, it's probably not going to happen. Probably. Another thing to consider is what language do you already speak? It's funny because English is like 40% the Romance language because it comes 40% around that from French. It is another percentage of Dutch and German and a little bit of percentage of Latin. So, what languages do you speak currently? Because it's going to be easier for me to learn a Romance language if I already speak a Romance language than it is going to be for me to learn in Japanese or in Scandinavian language or whatever. Or in an Arabic dialect. It's not the same. Anyways. So your current level, what are your objectives? If you want to pass a job interview, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need a lot of fluency. If you just want to travel, then you can have some useful travel phrases, some sentences like, where's the bathroom, where's the exit, I need a hospital, I need a taxi, something that's special for traveling and not much more than that. Actually, you want to know the natives, you want to have conversations with them, okay, maybe you need a reasonably good conversational level. Okay, what's your age? Because me, Steve, is not the same as Steve when I was 15 years old. It's not going to be the same as Steve when I will be, if I was 70 years old. It's not going to be the same, okay? And there's also other things to consider. How much time do you have free, available? What are you going to do to learn? Are you going to learn grammar? You're not going to learn in 2 months. Forget about it. Are you gonna practice everyday conversation? You're gonna make good progress. How much talent do you have? This is the thing, okay? And we all have the age that we have. We all have the talent that we have. We cannot change that. I'm not saying that there's a person who cannot learn a new language. If you speak your first language with no major problems, I think it is pretty reasonable to assume that you can speak a second language with no major problems. All right. So, now that we have that, let's actually put an example on the table. I'm A1 on a Romance language, but I already speak Spanish, which is a Romance language in itself. I could learn this language, I could train my listening so well in about 3 months. Yeah, you heard me, 3 months. That doesn't mean I'm going to know every word, but I'm going to know a lot of the basic common general words, the prepositions, the articles, all that sort of stuff, okay? I'm going to know a good amount of that in 3 months, but maybe if I was 70 years old within 6 months, if I put in half the time that I'm supposed to, it's going to take me 6 months again, and it's a lot easier to measure it in hours. Of course, a lot of study has to be done, but around 200 hours of listening are required in about any language. If there are somewhat similar to your language. If they're not, the time might increase. Okay? Now, listening and speaking are not the same ability. They complement each other, but they are not the same. So your speaking has to be trained separately, and even if you train it every day, depends on what you do again. Maybe you're not gonna be perfect in 3 months. You can make a lot of progress, okay? But I told you 200 hours, 300 hours of listening. If you have 200 hours of listening and like 1 hour of speaking, don't expect to be speaking very like a champion. You're gonna be alright because you have all the information, but producing it can be a whole different subject. Yeah. Alright, by the way, I have other videos where I talk about listening and speaking. I think I talk about that in all my videos on reading and writing, performing skills in any language. So in summary, can I learn X language in X amount of time? Folks, let's not pressure ourselves so much. Let's enjoy the process. I know some of you need to speak it because of work or else any other important reason. Okay. But I also want to ask you, do you love the language? Do you love the language? Because this is going to make the difference. If I didn't have a lot of talent or as much talent as the next guy, but I put in more hours and I have a lot more passion for it, and I speak it every day because I just simply love to, I'm going to bypass my smaller talent. Okay, if I love the language, I'm going to put in the time, more time than the next guy who spent 1 hour of class and did nothing else and just learned grammar because they needed it for work. And after the end of 3 months, guess what happens? You know the story, don't you? After the end of 3 months, they don't speak the language whatsoever. Right? Whereas the guy who loves the language and does it not because of compromise, but because they're really passionate about it. In about 3 months, they're going to have a huge progress, and they're going to be able to communicate themselves. Yes, most likely they're going to be able to communicate themselves. Again, one person is not the same as the next person. For what takes 1 month for one person, can take 2 months for the next one. Okay, so putting those 200 hours of listening, if you're gonna put 1 hour of grammar class every week, you will have learned a grand total of 4 hours at the end of the month and 12 hours at the end of 3 months, which is like very close to zero. So don't expect to make a lot of progress like that. But if you have a teacher which can help you learn more stuff, learn some stuff that you may not know or may not be able to guess on your own, they can help you progress faster. They can help you with your doubts and all that. And if you put in the hours of listening training, of speaking training, and if it is within your objectives, also the reading and writing training, then yes, you can make a very big progress in 3 months. Fluency, C2 level, you want to have my level in English in 3 months, which I know is not 100% perfect. Actually, I'm not going to say what my level is. You guys decide that, but it is a level. You want to have this level in 3 months, starting from zero? Probably not. Okay, let's be somewhat realistic here. And let's not expect to learn things in 1 day or in 1 hour a week. Okay? Hope this makes it clear. Tell us in the comments, what was your learning experience with languages? What do you think about this? How much time do you think it takes to learn a language? And can you give us an example? Maybe a real life example that maybe you learned some language, a second language, a third language. How much time did it take you? Was it a language from the same family of languages that you already spoke? What was your age and all that? Tell us all the details in the comments. Thanks for being around. This is Steve. Peace out. Sayonara. Is that correct? I was told it was like that. Whatever. Au revoir.